World Economic Forum has unveiled the latest technology designed to surveil populations, monitor for thought crimes, and alter human behavior, with or without your consent. As NPR reports, it's neither a bird nor a plane, but a winged microchip as small as a grain of sand that can be carried by the wind as it monitors such things as pollution levels or the spread of airborne diseases.
The goal of this project has been to add capability for winged flight to electronic circuit chips, with the idea that those capabilities would allow us to distribute highly functional but miniaturized electronic devices that could sense the environment for disease tracking, population surveillance, maybe monitoring of environmental contamination.
Did you catch that? They're actually admitting that these flying microchips, which are no larger than a grain of sand, will be used for disease monitoring and population surveillance. Per usual, the manipulative mainstream media is only giving their audience half of the story. But
these test subjects, as they're called, which is a real sick term to use for a walking, talking human being with feelings and a soul and a spirit and a mind, is more valuable than anything else on earth. They're referred to as test subjects, are not only experimented on both inside and outside of the workplace in the security company that I worked for in Seattle, Washington. They are also monitored 24/7 by a system of surveillance that many on the internet would probably recognize as gang stalking. These are security specialists employed by private security companies. They are also highly trained intelligence agents. These personnel are used to monitor the test subject 24 hours a day. No respect given, no care was afforded to them by any of the people running this program. They were treated like cattle. They were treated like lab rats. And they were not respected or valued at all by the motherfuckers running this program. They're evil in a way that I cannot understand, and I do not want to understand. It was my differences of opinion with them, once I became aware of the full extent of this program, that caused me to object, to confront them about it, to eventually quit my job over it. And as a result, I became a target of this program myself. They beam into my head now on a daily basis, "You're the lab rat now, motherfucker. Don't you ever fucking cross us. And don't you dare think about speaking out about this, or we'll fucking kill you." As many of the test subjects, so-called, the people are being experimented on, or as within the program as they're called, a target, as many of them have already learned, one of the key means of covering up this program is to use the psychological profession to do so. Those who speak out about this issue are funneled to psychiatrists for evaluation. The psychiatrists are working with those who are running this program. In many cases, they are directly paid by them to render a diagnosis of schizophrenic, multiple personality disorder, delusional, paranoid, depressed, upon the test subjects, the targets, so that they will be discredited, so that if they talk out any further or they ever start making any progress against this program, they are inherently discredited because those who run this program will simply release the psychological files and claim that the person is mentally ill. This is a perfect way to cover up such a technology whose main feature and most popular feature, most well-known feature, is voice to skull, which induces sound within the cranial cavity of the test subject, of the target themselves, so that when that person goes to speak out about it, when they go to seek help from their fellow human beings, and their fellow human beings say, "What is it that's happening to you?" the target will then say, "I'm hearing voices inside my head." It's the result of voice to skull technology. It's a sophisticated microwave auditory effect. It's radio frequency signals that are being beamed at my fucking head that are causing me to hear sounds and voices inside my head. Obviously, if members of the general public are not aware of the existence of this technology, which many of them are not, most of them are not, then they will interpret that as concerning. They will feel concern for the target, and they will conclude that this person must be crazy. And as a result, they will recommend psychological evaluation for that person. You can see the way this is going to go, and the way it is going right now. As good people, helpless people that are being abused and tortured and enslaved and experimented upon in America today, American citizens cry out for help from their fellow Americans, and their fellow Americans say, "Why don't you take some Prozac? Because we think you're schizophrenic." When this is a highly technical program, all of the symptoms are induced by a technology that is so fucking sophisticated, it is horrifying beyond description. But what is more horrifying, being familiar with this technology, this program, and the people involved in it, is the reaction of people within it to the target themselves. There is no sympathy, there is no empathy. They are seen as cattle, they are seen as slaves, and they have no rights at all. And it's infuriating, and that's why I decided to speak out about it. One aspect of this technology that most people are not aware of is many of the things I've read on the internet, and I want to take a moment to thank everybody who has spoken out on this issue, targeted individuals who are getting this shit beamed into their head every fucking day and are somehow managing to survive and to hold it together. I want to thank you. You are my hero. You are the reason that I am able to keep going every day. You're the reason that I have not given up. And you are the reason why I'm speaking out now about it. As an industry insider and someone who has full knowledge of the entire workings of this entire program, I felt the responsibility to speak out to help people like you. Because my heart goes out to you every time I see you post something online. And I know there's millions more of you out there that have not been able to post anything online. And I want you to know that I support you, we all support you, and we need to get through this together. And it is my hope that by speaking out, more insiders who are part of this program, security specialists for private security companies, primarily, but also those within the intelligence agencies, the military branches of this country, the federal government, local and state law enforcement, and also the social programs of America, please come forward. Please help out. Please get off your fucking ass. Stop remaining silent and speak out on this. And if you can't do that, because believe me, one of the reasons I have not spoken out up to this point is for concern and for family and friends. People I know that I'm concerned for their safety because of the jackasses running this program have proven themselves to be nothing but a bunch of thugs. A bunch of heartless, moralist, spiritless, soulless fucking robots that do not have any empathy, sympathy, or love for their fellow human beings. And so I am very concerned about those around me who I love and care very deeply about. I'm also concerned for my fellow security specialists who are still employed by my company that I used to work for and other companies like it. Because the way these motherfuckers work is if you don't go along with our program, then you're out. And you are going to be isolated for the rest of your fucking life. And anybody who tries to help you is going to feel our wrath as well. But I decided it's time. There's nothing I can fucking do in terms of what they're going to do to me or other people. These people are going to do what they want to us no matter what, which leaves me in a position of having no choice. I have to speak out. But as a security specialist, as an insider with detailed information of this entire fucking program and how it works from top to bottom, I am privy to some details that most are not. And that is that the true way that this technology works is that the true holy grail in terms of this technology is DNA resonant frequency. It taps right into the DNA and it does it remotely by resonating with the exact frequency that your DNA resonates. Because all matter in the universe resonates. All matter is animated by sound. Matter itself is enabled by sound. And so the resonant frequency of the DNA is what they use to fine-tune the technology to take total control of your entire body, spirit, soul, being, and mind. It's total not only mind control, it's total human being control. And it is the essential element that allows them to manipulate your emotions so totally and completely, to manipulate your thoughts so totally and completely, to manipulate everything you do and see and hear and think and feel every single minute of every single day so totally and completely. It's horrible. It's horrifying. And it is a crime against humanity. This is something that needs to be dealt with in the Geneva Convention. This is something that needs to be dealt with in international courts. This is something that needs to be dealt with first and foremost by the Supreme Court of the United States. This is something that needs to be dealt with until we get to that point at the local and the state level. This is something that needs to be tackled by lawyers and civil rights advocates immediately. We need laws right fucking now to stop this thing, because it is out of control and it is only getting worse. The entire population of the United States of America could conceivably be controlled by this one day. And I know for a fact, having been an insider and actually been a part of this program and seen it operate on a day-to-day basis, I am aware that there are now entire cities in America that are nothing more but a massive social engineering experiment. Because instead of using this, as most people think, just against the individual, the targeted individual, there are applications of this technology I am now aware of that utilize it against entire populations. Anywhere from small groups of people, 10 to 20 to 100, to medium-sized groups of people, several thousand to tens of thousands. This is done by creating a field effect, where an entire field of electromagnetic energy is created in a geographical location. And any human being within that geographical location, within the electromagnetic field affecting that geographical location, will be affected by the technology. This can be used to induce a general mood in a population or a crowd of people. It can be used to make them passive. It can be used to make them agitated. And this can be used to cause or stop, induce riots, stop crime, start crime, stop thoughts, start thoughts. Massive mind control on a citywide level by some real sick, evil, out of control people who have taken their positions of power and authority and taken advantage of it. They have violated the trust of the American people. They have violated the trust of the stockholders in their companies. They have violated the trust of their co-workers. They violated the trust of their employees. They violated the trust of their family and their friends. They violated the trust of their children. and they violated the trust of all Americans everywhere, and indeed all human beings all over the planet. They have violated that trust by using their positions of power to conceal themselves from scrutiny, and then use that veil of secrecy to launch what amounts to an attack on a non-violent American population who are just trying to live their lives and make a living and be happy, love their friends and family, and do the best they can. And it is the complicity of the military, the intelligence agencies, the social workers, private security contractors, major American corporations, local and state police that is allowing this to happen. And it's a goddamn disgrace. You are the people. We are the people in my industry who are supposed to be protecting the American people, who are supposed to be serving the American people, who are supposed to be preserving our way of life and protecting the Constitution so that our children do not grow up in a hell on earth, so that horrible, evil people do not get control of this country and have the ability to harm our loved ones, our friends, and our family. And I always thought that that was a possibility for the future. I'm aware of some of the predictions of the future and the direction the country's going, and it could get really bad. Some horrible things could happen in the future. And one of the things I've been struggling with, trying to wrap my mind around, is that this is not about the future at all. It's happening right now in America today.
The elite are determined to play God and alter the human body. So it's no surprise they think they've beaten biology by developing functional surveillance devices so small that they'll be undetectable to the naked eye. The elites are hell-bent on enslaving us in their techno-communist utopia. Enslaving us via a total surveillance control grid involving flying microchips the size of a grain of sand is only part of the plan. They also want to go under the skin.